Coming up, we've got an update on a new Spider-Man film, plus also we're talking about some new content heading towards Disney Plus pretty soon. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's On at disneyplus.com. It's time for a quick Disney Plus news roundup. Let's start off with talking about the brand new Spider-Man film. So it's been a few years since we last saw him on our screens in Spider-Man at No Way Home, where they brought in all the different Spider-Men, and it was a great film, made over $2 billion. It was a huge success. But since then, we've not really had any updates on when the next one's going to be happening. Marvel and Sony are working together on this film, though they've not officially put out anything. But according to The Hollywood Reporter, Destin Cretton is in talks to direct the film. Now, he is the director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. He's also behind the upcoming Disney Plus Marvel series Wonder Man. He has an overall deal with Marvel. So apparently he's still in talks. Hasn't officially been confirmed or anything like that. Now, he was actually going to be directing Avengers Kang Dynasty, but he kind of stepped away from that there. We don't yet know why. That might be just due to the fact that they completely retooled the whole movie and turned it into Avengers Doomsday, which will see Robert Downey Jr. return as... Well, he's returning to the MCU, but he's going to be playing Doctor Doom, so a different character for him, so that's going to be interesting to see. So that left to many people expecting that Destin was going to be moving on to direct Shang-Chi 2, which I would really love to see. I thought that was a fantastic movie. I loved it. But it looks like we're going to have to wait a little bit more because he's going to be doing Spider-Man. Now, again, nothing has been confirmed. We don't have any plot details when it's going to be coming out. But without a doubt, Spider-Man is top priority. Also, apparently, Tom Holland and Zendaya are in negotiations and talking with executives about signing a new deal. It's expected that they will do. I also think as well, it's probably been good for them to have a few years away from it, being able to do other films, other projects. So now they feel a bit more refreshed. This tends to happen a lot with, especially when you're in big franchises, that sometimes you just want a bit of time off, do some other characters, and then they're much more willing to want to come back. Like I said, with Robert Downey Jr., he's had a few years away, done some different projects, and now it's more likely wanting to come back and try something a little bit different. But so Tom Holland is expected to return to Spider-Man. I loved him in those 3 home movies. I thought they were fantastic. I think people need to step away from the idea that Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield are coming back. Now, they're going to be going back just to one thing. Now, whether or not they bring in multiple Spider-Men for the Secret Wars or something like that, I don't know. I mean, they could do, but... There's this kind of weird thing, like people talking about the fact that now Shang-Chi 2 has probably been delayed. Probably very likely. I mean, I actually look at, if he's taken on the Spider-Man films, that is a major upgrade and shows a lot of faith in him, because that is basically... I mean, he is the poster boy really for Marvel. He is the most well-known of the Marvel characters. Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, those are the 3 kind of ones that most people will think of. So Spider-Man is definitely up there. Now, whether or not you can consider it above Avengers, I mean, it's very, I think this is a big role for him to do. And I think he's going to be fantastic with it. I think the fact he's got lots of history with Marvel, I think this sounds like a great idea. But what do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on him becoming the new director of the Spider-Man film. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about a brand new horror film that's going to be coming out soon called Hold Your Breath. So this one is from Searchlight Pictures. And it's coming out on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States on October the 3rd. Also coming out on Disney Plus internationally. This is a kind of a horror film. It's R-rated. It definitely looks a bit creepy. They're kind of set I don't know, maybe 100 years ago in America. There's this sandstorm coming through, and she feel like there's someone trying to get in, a stalker, and they're trying to hide from the air. It's all a bit creepy. I'm not going to lie, this is not usually the kind of movie that I would watch. I will give it a go because it's on Disney Plus when it arrives, but it's definitely not what I would call my go-to kind of film. But it's perfect timing, I think, with Halloween and obviously that sort of spooky season if you want to put out a movie like this. Also, probably very low budget. It looks like they literally just put a house and filmed it in a field. It didn't look, there was a lot of special effects and stuff. But yeah, these kind of films definitely have a place on streaming. Though I can't help but feel like this might have been a good one. Put out in cinemas for a couple of weeks and then put out on streaming. Probably could have at least made back its budget. But again, the low cost Should hopefully be interesting. But let me know what you thought of the trailer for Hold Your Breath in the comments below. Shifting gears now, let's now talk about a brand new documentary series from FX called Social Studies. So this brand new series will be arriving on FX on the 27th of September, available the next day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States. Also will be available at the same time then on the 28th on Disney Plus around the world, including here in the UK. So we get the first 2 episodes and then a weekly release afterwards. So this new series, we got the first trailer for it, and it kind of shows us how they are looking into the lives of some teenagers in Los Angeles and how social media impacts on them, you know, on their health, on their mental being, how they deal with like trolls and messages. And I think this is going to be very interesting. The whole idea of this really is that they're looking at this as the first generation to have grown up with social media. That's all they've ever known, and the impact that it's having. And I think this is going to be a fascinating watch. I am really excited to watch this one, see what happens, and just see how the impact of social media is impacting. And I think this is probably good for parents and stuff to watch as well, to see what's going on, to get a bit of an idea in. Social media is just so big, it's so influential. And I know firsthand, you know, sometimes of just that pressure of, you know, what's on there, what's going on, the inserts and stuff. And just the power of what comes through, and the anxiety and all the rest of it. And I'm, you know, definitely not a teenager, and you know, I grew up in an area where we didn't even have social media. It didn't exist till I was an adult. So I had different measures in place by the time I was an adult to be able to deal with it. But to be a teenager that's only ever had this, it must be pretty hard. And I think, you know, there's going to be elements of trying to learn with it, trying to work out what can happen and the downfalls of it. I think this is going to be a fascinating series. I definitely would recommend people watch it to get an idea. Because I think, you know, most of us will admit we're probably all addicted to social media. We use it too much. And also the power that it has, you know, how it influences what we think, what we see, and it can distort what we see depending on algorithms and stuff. You know, you only need to watch something for too long on TikTok or a reel or something like that, and suddenly your feed can be full of stuff that you maybe you're not interested, but it keeps going into your feed. And I think that is something I think this one's going to be a really interesting documentary, and I definitely want to check it out. And I would definitely recommend you do the same, just to kind of learn a little bit more about this, especially if you've got kids and teenagers, and even just for yourself, so you're more aware of how all this stuff impacts on you. But yeah, just let me know. Are you going to be checking out this series? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And also, since you're on social media, why not follow me as well? Why not? But yeah, so let's now jump into the question of the day. Cross Bros asks, when is Avengers 5 coming to Disney Plus? So this question's been asked a lot, and I just thought, solid, I'm going to answer it. It's not going to be coming out on Disney Plus until at least probably 4 months after it comes out in cinemas, which I think is May 2026. So it's a while off, so it probably won't be hitting Disney Plus probably until maybe October, November of 2026. That's a long way off. Just basically think of any new release from Disney. Whatever the cinema release date is, add 4 months to that date, and then you're roughly going to have a good idea. It could be a little bit earlier, but expect it to be at least 4 months, and therefore if it arrives early, that's a bonus. And then, you know, from there, do not expect these movies to be on Disney Plus within weeks or months. They are going to take a lot longer. And so with something like Avengers, when they start making billions, they hold on to them in cinemas even longer. Look at Inside Out, you know, Deadpool and Wolverine. These aren't going to be hitting Disney Plus anytime soon quick. But let me know what you think of this in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. And I probably realised just after I've said that probably they're just going to announce like Inside Out 2's Disney Plus date today or something. But nevertheless, let me know your thoughts on this. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.